The year is 87039, new nonlinear time. It's been 50,000 years since Steven Zapata's final art stream, but we still live in a golden age defined by the gifts his stream bestowed upon mankind. Faster than light travel, eternal life, Steven cloning, and the keys to a truly galactic human civilization. My name is Stave Satapaz, a reminder clone of Steven Zapata, an exact reproduction of his personality as constructed by an AI compiling millions of hours of his original art streams. By all accounts, I'm exactly like the original Steven's public persona, just more muscular, exactly as he would have wanted. I travel the stars on my light tracer, a dream of Steven. My crew is, of course, all clones of Steven. Some of my officers are reminders like me, but not all. Some are bioclones, and yet others are aspectoids, clones who, instead of trying to capture his full essence, amplify a particular portion of the original Steven's personality. We've spent hundreds of years drawing, exploring, and philosophizing while snaking our way through the stars, spreading the good word of design. But we've had another, secret mission as we've cruised the cosmos. I seek information on the legendary originals, Steven Zapata's true drawings that he flung wide across the stars at the end of his life on Earth, never to be seen again. My crew thinks I'm looking for them for the same reason all the other madmen do, because they would be valuable beyond all reason. But they don't know what I know, that a critical mass of originals in the hands of a trained reminder can provide a psychic link to the original Steven mind. Once I collect enough, I'll be able to fulfill my destiny and achieve psychological continuity with the original Steven. And through me, he will live again to usher in golden ages of art forever. Drawing Ascendant, the eternal chronicles of Steven Zapata. Lasting Legacy 1, Epic 1.
Who's that, Steven? It's Gamghoul, Steven!
How you holding up out there, Stave? I'd say considering I'm fighting a Steven who doesn't draw, I'm doing alright, really. Ha! Just try to keep everyone entertained while you try to keep your head. I need more time in Cathar Steven's palace. I know the god graphite is here. Somewhere in here. If I only knew where. Hey, no rush, man. I got this guy on the ropes. Trust me.
Yeah! Lucina Thunder, Duneja Marido, Dunya, Nanyata Da Giata.
What?
It's Incanthia, great sword of the Black Fountain. He really does have it.
Yeah! Nitroya, Nitsuyo Tufu, Gimya Tanta, Ata.
This is a dream of Steven. Stave, are you there?
Steven, you got to the ship. How did you get past the blockades?
Nothing the dream couldn't handle. But they're on me, and we're coming in hot. I'm gonna get you out of there. Do I have clearance to murder some citizen Stevens as I strafe the arena?
Soon, but not yet. Sturvin needs more time in the palace to find the god graphite. If you attack now, all the guards watching my execution will rush back to the palace to secure Cathar Steven. So give him the runaround until I get word from Sturvin. The god graphite! Finally! Oh, it's beautiful! Whoa, yes. Come to Sturvin. Hold on. No need to rush there, little Steven. You and I both know Stave wouldn't want you to get sloppy and spill any of that, would he?
If I ever want to piss off my wife, I just have to say, oh yes, come to Sturvin. She really hates that. She really hates that. It's just one of the many tools I have to infuriate my wife. It's one of the more effective ones, but it's still one of many. What's up, everybody? What is up? Also like when anything looks good, I like to say, it's beautiful. Hello, Disc. Hello, Sterling. This is Sterling's first stream. Well, this begins a long relationship of you wishing you could watch what claims to be episode 307 of Drawing Ascendant, The Eternal Chronicles of Steven Zapata, Lasting Legacy 1, Epic 1, as often as you can, but you'll only be able to catch it live on these streams. That's the only way. Hey, Janosch. Anuj, hello. Cynocephalus, hello. Hi, everybody. George, Ivan, Anuj, Magda, who probably is not here anymore, Jack, Al-Hanouf, Reynola. Hey, everybody. AP, Shisui. What's up, everyone? Just scrolling all the way up to the top here. Stacy Grant says, hello, finally caught one of these live streams. Happy to have you, Stacy. What's up? All right. I wasn't going to stream today just because I'm doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but got my feedback done for the course pretty early today. I think I got to everybody who posted recently. And actually, let me check before I forget, check my email. And then I was going to sit here and work on the gates to chaos for Paradise Lost. Well, I guess they could be the gates to hell. It's just that Satan doesn't use them to enter hell. He uses them to travel to the land in between, the chaos. Just going to work on the gates for a bit. So I thought, let's stream for a bit. A couple hours here while I work on the gates for a touch. Hold on, I got to fix my camera. Because life is chaos. You can never trust that your camera is going to stay in focus. All right, there we go. Let's just leave that there in case we need it. You need to hit up the wiki for the Steven Zapata wiki. Yeah, you got to go to the extended Zapataverse wiki. It's deep with lore, speculation, wild theory crafting, pure tinfoil hat stuff. I mean, just people have the wildest notions about what is going to happen in Drawing Ascendant. A lot of shipping. A lot of shipping. People seem to think anything's on the table because it's just Stevens getting with other Stevens, so. Namaste, Stephen. Hi, Makeshift. Did something wrong there. What the heck was that? I think I just deleted a brush, whatever. Yeah, it's pretty cool when you zoom out, if you see that level of detail and sculpture going on up there. Let's just poke at this for a bit. Good morning, Yoga. Good morning, Lloyd. Theodore says, Steven Zapata stream started in the rain where I'm at. Stopped. Coincidence? I think not. I think definitely not coincidence. Once you've been on this earth long enough, you realize it's unlikely that it's coincidence. What can I say? I'm a problem solver. That's the truth. Hello, hello, looks sick. Kind of reminds me of the Rodin ones, but of course much better design than his. Well, I wouldn't go that far. Definitely would not go that far. But they are based directly on Rodin's Gates of Hell, which might be my favorite piece of art. Might be my favorite piece of art. I've seen them, because you know it's there's no like real Rodin originals since he worked in like throwaway clay and stuff like that for the most part, clay and plaster. But I've seen them in various places. I've seen a bronze version at the Musée de Rodin in Paris, and also in Paris I've seen a white cast version at the Musée d'Orsay. Have you tried Clip Studio Paint? You'd better believe it. What is your favorite Steven lore Steven? I'd say ones that haven't been revealed yet. There's Stevens that I have in my Steven head that I'm like, wow, that's Steve-tacular. Nothing like drawing on a Thursday, man. Because Thursday is always like, no, you don't get to draw on me. I'm Thursday. It's like, take that Thursday. I'm drawing on a Thursday. And then Thursday's like, no, it can't be. I've been undone by a simple drawing. It's like, that's right. You bet. Sucks to be you, Thursday. Hi from Paris. You come back here anytime? I plan on it. I will return. Paris is great. Definitely need more than one trip to see a lot of it. But yeah, I have very fond memories of that trip to the Rodin Museum in Paris. I mean, there's so much stuff in that museum that you can't find online. It's just not on the internet. You get to see so many like new Rodins, you know. Who is your favorite artist in illustration? That'd be difficult to say. I mean, there's so many great ones and so many ones that I love, and I wouldn't necessarily say I put any of them like over each other in that sort of, in those top ranks. And my list of favorites would kind of change day to day, which I think is the truth for a lot of artists. You know, you really you go a certain week captivated by a particular kind of thing, and then you get captivated by something else. That's just the way it goes. Have you ever visited the Saroya House Museum? I have not. I've seen a lot of Saroyas in museums and things like that, but I have not yet. I have not gone into any of these Saroya only museums. There's a famous Saroya mural at the Spanish Society here in New York City that I'm ashamed to say I have not gotten out to visit yet. I don't think I can rectify that situation right now because the Spanish Society has been closed since the start of the pandemic for renovations. I gotta drink my tea, people. Don't be weird. Another Steven Zapata stream? You bet. We draw often here. That's the truth. What's your opinion on other Stevens, the ones that don't look like you? I actually don't mind if other Stevens don't look like me. What bothers me is Stevens with the PH. They're my mortal enemy. Hi, Joseph. Joseph Mazziliano. Sturvin is a low-key hottie.
Oh yes, come to Sturvin.
Rodin. Look, if you guys are looking for correct pronunciations, you're in the wrong place. I'm a New Yorker. And I read artist names, I don't say them very much. There will be no correct pronunciations around here. Rodin, Boujaroch. It's gonna be all wrong up and down. You should hear me pronounce Rotring and Faber Castell and things like that. How the hell are you supposed to pronounce Strathmore? Is it Strathmore? Strathmore? What about Staedtler, the guys who make the pencils? How the heck are you supposed to pronounce Staedtler? Well, if it isn't modern day James. Modern day James, shit talker supreme. Last time I heard your name, people were telling me that you were going hard on me on your stream. Don't know what I think about that, James. Some of the things I heard you say about me? Unacceptable. I mean, slander. Pure slander. Even my most vociferous critics have been slow to say some of the things you said about me. It was all in jest, he says. I will be respected even in jest. Why don't you make some jokes about how beautiful I am? How thoughtful? How wise? How just? I think that those topics are just as funny. A scoundrel of sorts. I've complimented you too much throughout our friendship. Now it's time to switch gears. I must say I disagree. I think the compliments could keep flowing. It's like, or just, you know. Maybe it doesn't have to all be compliments, but do you have to be so vicious about it? I mean, what was it? Let's see, I got it over here. Let the record show, James claimed I was a, and I quote, pederast with a penchant for perversion such that it would panic the populace. That's how you talk about your friends, James. Yeah, it's rude. It's a disgusting comment. Yeah, I think Max put it right. Amy's art finally caught a stream while drawing. Congratulations, Amy's art. Welcome. Maybe we could put like a little freeze. Whoop. A little freeze somewhere in here. Nah, that's probably not worth it. It'd be too small. James, if I were you, I mean, we're enemies or whatever, but I would not use Joe as your lawyer, for the record. It wouldn't be a fair fight. I want to win in the heart of the public record. If you have Joe as your lawyer, I can just stay silent until the whole thing unravels itself. Oof. Hear my wrist? That's good. That's how you know you're drawing enough, when your wrist sounds like a cement mixer. I'm just kidding. Don't do that to yourself. quick sphere. Let's add a few more reflections. Some Fresnel, because it's a brass ball. Loving the bounce light. Oh, it's good. And it's easy, baby. Yet another truly incredible Steven Zapata stream. It's just the way it is. I hear you snurfling over there, dog.
I hear you snurfling over there, dog.
Hi, Steven. Have you ever looked at the work of the bodybuilding mystic Frank Yang? Curious as he seems on your wavelength. I initially discovered him from Mal's art. I have heard of him before, now that you mention him, but I have never looked at his work. By his work, do you mean like his YouTube? Or does he like do artwork? Look, there's a way to be a mystic about anything, because mysticism is just a property of a person, just something that you're interested in. So, and since it's like, you know, if you're experiencing some sort of mystical experience or something like that, it pervades all of existence. It's like it can apply anywhere. Bodybuilding, cake making, art making, being angry, debating in court, changing your oil. Well, if it isn't Omar. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I was just out at the temple praying to the gods Adobe and Wacom for gifting us such bountiful and functional tools. Oh, did you catch me ranting yesterday? I didn't know you were in there when I was doing that. Don't get me started. Do not get me started. Is the car safe today? Yes, and I did manage to find a spot yesterday. My heart out today is I've got therapy at 2-ish. But I wasn't planning on going that long anyway. But I could. If the rare thing happens and I find myself enjoying drawing, I could stay if I want to. But what are the odds? I'll enjoy drawing. Ever tried drawing with paint pens? I don't think so, actually. You were really on one? Well, it's not my fault that they make these frickin' crap things. Let me fix my camera. Look, someone's got to say it. Maybe I could just leave it on non-manual focus, because I don't really... Do I go out of focus when I'm back here? Right here, am I still in focus here? Look at me. Look at me. Maybe I'll just leave it like that for a while. See how that holds up. Are you going to talk about your ears with the psychologist? What else would I talk about in there? Like, obviously. All of the details on the ball are unseen in the bigger picture. It doesn't matter, because it's just for me. Even if it's literally invisible in the final picture, it serves a purpose if it keeps me happily drawing. You get what I'm saying? Usually though, it is enough to get like, it's like, even if you can't read a specific detail, as long as it feels detailed, it's still doing a job, you know, it's still doing something. Hello, Ion. The past couple days I've been able to draw a lot more with your having fun focus in mind. Good. Good. More drawing in the world is a good thing. Sure. Let me, just gonna put that guy on his own layer in case I mess him up later. I can always get him back. Let's use purple as archives. Just got your message about my sphere assignment. Essentially, I should not have free-handed anything. LOL, I'll do a prettier one later on, but for tonight, it's going to be the cube. Go for the cube. Yeah, I don't, like I show in the demos, you know, use a circle guide, use a cup. I really don't think the base geoforms, I don't think it's worth it to freehand them. Like, it's good to freehand them if you're just trying to practice like this. Like if you're just trying to practice that, like sketching a good cube in perspective that converges correctly, it's fine to freehand that, but if you're focusing on creating the illusion of form, if you want to render that, just do it with a ruler. Lock it down, because it really distracts you from being able to sink into the form if it's not just right, those basic shapes. Because you have the same eye as the viewer, right? So you would be distracted if someone else showed you their cube and it was all fuzzy and like there was no straight edges on it. So you've got to treat your eye the same way, because with these base exercises, you're trying to trigger the feeling of realism first for you and then for the audience. Because if it doesn't look good, if it doesn't look real to you and you don't experience it as real, what hope do you have that it'll look real to the audience, right? So you want to hit it for yourself first so that you can craft or achieve the feeling of being the form, of being on the form, and experience the object sculpturally, and then that will sort of handle it for the audience. What is your guys' opinion on the advanced AI generated art nowadays with Midjourney, DALL-E, etc.? I mean, it's the best, man. I mean, it's so good. I love it. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, you know, it's irrelevant to me because I like to draw by hand, but I'm really happy for all the people who hate drawing by hand that they don't have to do it anymore. So leave freehand fun to organic stuff? Yeah. For the base exercises, do it as locked down as you can. Use whatever tools you have. If you have ellipse guides, use ellipse guides. When you do your cube, follow my instructions in the cube demo. Actually make the vanishing points and anything and everything like that. It's just like, it's I mean, you'll regret it, you know. It'll hold you back from doing your best on the render, because you'll know in the back of your head, like, the cube's not quite right, you know. So don't let it hold you back. Looks really nice, thank you. I wonder if there's a good course out there to learn form. There might be. It might be linked in the description. It might be good, like really good. Like both concise and dense. Exhaustive and easy to watch. There might be a community being built up around it. I might be giving feedback on just about every damn thing that comes up in this community. Oh, have I responded to everything? Oh yeah, look at that. Diagrams and notes and explanations, details. Interesting. Interesting that I've responded to everything. Oh, and on all of this too. Wow. Wow, yeah. Woof. Whoa, do I respond with videos sometimes? That's weird.
Hi, Marco.
Videos where I explain things, huh?
On your cubes here.
This
gives me, as I say in many of the videos, the relationship that you produce between this and this gives me a perfect light direction line. So,
go figure. Oh, on all of this too. So weird. It's weird. Like, that's really weird for an online course. Like, who does feedback on everything for an online course? Very strange. Very unusual. Don't see a lot of that. Let's turn off symmetry. Hey Steve, what advice would you give to someone who puts in the hours to practice the fundamentals and still feels like their progress is too slow? What could be wrong? Based on my experience with other students, you're probably not drawing for yourself enough. If you only do the fundamentals, your progress will be slow. So that would be the first thing I'd look at. You're supposed to keep... You must always be attempting the pictures that you actually dream of making. You're never supposed to not do that. Yes, even when they suck. You're not supposed to only do the work you want to be doing once you're good at it. It's like that guarantees you'll never get there. Yes, you're supposed to always be doing the work you want to be doing. If you want to make comics, you're supposed to always be making comics. If you want to make paintings, you're supposed to always be making paintings. And yes, you're supposed to keep doing them when they suck and when it feels bad. It's like, yeah, that's why art is hard, right? Like, if you're gonna wash out because it feels bad to do them because you hate that they suck, it's like, that's the number one reason everybody washes out. Don't wash out for that reason. Stick to it. It's supposed to be bad. You're a beginner. It's supposed to be bad. Just accept it. You'll get there. It's like, what kind of backwards world are we living in where you expect it's supposed to be good? It's like, if it was good, you'd be done. You'd have a career. It's supposed to be bad. You're supposed to spend a long time with it being bad. And you're supposed to love it and do it for different reasons. And you're supposed to do it for just the sake of the journey and the fact that you know you will make progress. But you must always be attempting the pictures you actually want to make. so our art should suck, but in a cool and unique way? No, not necessarily. You don't need to build it up into some sort of rarefied thing like, all right, well, I suck, so I need to be doing ideas that like have a cool basis or an interesting raison d'etre or like really relevant. It's like, that'd be nice and that would help, but you don't have to feel like you have to do that either. It can just, well, my most common recommendation that you guys know from the channel is let it suck, but if it was fun for you to make it, who cares, you know? Who cares? That it be enjoyable to make is truly enough. And if you don't find it enjoyable to make art, switch up your process. Try a different medium. Try a different starting point. Violate all of your little rules that you've given yourself over the years. Like maybe you've spent years disparaging photo bashing or something like that, or making art with AI. Abandon all the rules, go into your dark cave and use photos, use AIs. It's like, remember, the number one thing, the number one wrong thing, the only wrong thing in art is believing anything, doing anything, getting trapped on anything that keeps you from making work. That's the only wrong thing. Everything else is on the table. Everything else is acceptable. Except stealing, of course. That's not on the table because it's illegal. Don't be an Antonio. Yeah. Do not be an Antonio. Don't you dare frustrate Michelangelo. Just get to work. Steven, you are so damn cool. Thanks, Mom. My mom would never say that. She'd say, you did great, Iho. Wow, hijo, qué dibujo. That's what my mom likes to say. Is art school worth the time? It is if the money's not a big deal for you. Yeah. If you go to a good one. A bad one is never going to be worth the time. If you find yourself at a bad one, you can make it worth your time if you get very good at networking. Like, if you're at a bad art school, stop doing your homework. If you're at a bad art school, stop doing your homework and just become everybody's best friend. That should be your number one priority. That will give you a better chance of getting a career in art than doing your homework assignments. Let your teachers fail you. You get the course and become the best friend of all of your classmates. It's all networking at that point. Most art schools they don't know how to teach you anything. All the incentives are messed up and they don't have the structure right to help you get better at art. If you're at a good one and you have a lot of money, yeah, it can be worth your time. Steven, how do you deepen the reflective practice of art making? I think my whole YouTube is the long answer to that question. It's really more, it's a process of removing things rather than adding things. It's about not being so connected with your narratives and being able to focus in the moment and abandoning a lot of the built-up narratives, like thoughtless things that teachers have said in the past, or, your father or mother's disapproval of your art practice, or just the myriad thoughtless things that people say to artists. It's more just unraveling that stuff. It's removal. The practice of making art is naturally reflective, naturally joyful. That's its base. So if you just get all of the other crap out of the way, that just rises to the surface. I need to have some water. My mom used to say, "Iho, you better be an engineer or else." Leave it to mom. Steven, you talk about continuing to learn. So what was the last art thing you've learned and how long have you been this good? The last art thing I've learned. Yeah, again, it's hard to pinpoint that because I do still feel like I'm learning new things every day. It's just like at the level that I'm at, those things are more small, like very specific things. Whereas at the beginner level, you're like, I need to learn perspective. And that's a huge endeavor, right? So I have done a lot of the huge endeavor, but I still on the daily will experience, even within perspective, I'll learn a really specific niche thing, like, planes intersecting at orthogonal angles will cast orthogonal shadows like that. It's like when I bump into that, which only clicked for me like recently, that felt like, oh, eureka, like that's a thing to learn. But it's just so small, it's so niche. So it'd be difficult to list. Hey, Steven, do you have that intro video on YouTube, the epoch one with the space adventure? I do not. At least it's not listed. It's for streams only. When I have more episodes, maybe I'll put out a compilation. That'll just be sitting on YouTube. How do you rotate the canvas like that? In Photoshop, you just press R, and then you click and drag. You're in a league of your own? Yeah, I know. I know. It's really cool of you to notice, but I know. I'm out here looking around. I'm like, who's doing it like me? It's like, it's weird. It's weird. No one's doing it like me. Strange. No one else wants to be the best? Go figure. This face will never read, but it's like, I want to paint a face. Here, watch this. Everybody calm down. Hey, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to work from big to small. Hey, basic shapes first. Hey, don't waste time painting things and details that you're not going to be able to see in the finished painting. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, keep saying hey. Keep wasting all your time with your little rules. I'll be here drawing. I'm sure you'll catch up someday. All your little rules really seem to be working out for you. Yeah, everybody loves your work. Every time you post, everyone's like, wow, it really follows the rules. Always habitually saving. What's the size of your Photoshop page for you to work in such details? This one's not that big. This one's about 7,800 pixels high. But for a painting like this, if I was really gonna work it out at this level of detail, I could easily, you could be working like 20,000 pixels tall or something like that. It'd let you control your brushwork a little better. Steven, have you ever suffered any prejudice or been bullied for being South American? Has that helped with becoming assistant for Ray Bustos? No. No one's ever bullied me for being South American except the cops, baby. I've never encountered any weirdness in the art industries or anything like that. And Ray could not care. No one could care less than Ray that you would be South American. I mean, Ray's a patriot. Ray, I don't think Ray has like gone back to his ancestral home or anything like that. He wouldn't play favorites like that. It wouldn't align with him, and he's not really. It's not like a big thing for him that he's South American or anything like that. No, what helped me become Ray's teaching assistant was that I was good at anatomy. That's what helped me become Ray's teaching assistant. What helped me was that I was a good student and I got straight A's on all of his assignments. And Ray was a brutal teacher. Brutal teacher. You couldn't mess with him. So when I asked him if I could be his TA, he was like, "Let's go, dog." Flip that. MK, Steven, quite a personal question, but if you're okay with it, what age did you begin to take art seriously, as in career serious? Career serious? Around 16. I started focusing on improving, really wanting to get better at drawing and realizing you could sort of like do it, like put your mind to it and get better at it. I started that around 14, but I actually thought I was going to be like a scientist for a couple years there. And I didn't like feel sure that like, oh no, I want to be an artist until like 16 or 17. But I was pretty seriously focusing on improving before that. It wasn't really with like a career in mind. I just like wanted to get better. The redacted computer says, "Hola, Steven, ¿cómo estás? Estoy bien. ¿Y usted?" It's a sculpture, so these eyebrows shouldn't have a local value change. It's not a big deal if they did, but you know what I mean. It's all one material, right? So. Doing these highlights very zoomed out so that I pick ones that are useful for the overall read. Boom. Nice and shimmering. And now, image size, 10%. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll just copy that. Paste that, and there you go. When will you be starting your music career? When I'm sick of drawing, I guess. Can't believe he copy pasted. Yeah. Oof, right in the rules. Oh god. Get help. He got me right in the rules. Ugh. He got me right in the rules. I couldn't if I tried. And baby, if I get jealous, I know I'm not that kind. Ooh, right in the rules, right in the rules. Would you do a South Park inspired Drawing Ascendant episode? I don't think so. But I reserve the right to change my mind at any time. Did it finally cool off in New York? You are looking less red. It's still pretty hot, but it did cool out. But the redness was not from the heat. I look less red because I found better color balance settings for my webcam. Actually, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's because I'm using only one light on a different side than I used to, and that is that's making the auto white balance on my camera act differently, act better. Steven, rumor has it you are the AI behind the growing AI art movement. Can you confirm this? I can neither confirm nor deny. For legal purposes, I must stay mute on this point. What are the worst rules that a beginner should not follow that pros keep telling about, excluding perspective and other scientific rules such as materials and so on? To never use the airbrush. That's a stupid rule. It's like, if you're drawing something that has soft edges, use the airbrush. It's your best friend. How many poor beginners has that one got, you know? Their heart's desire is to just get... It's crazy. I mean, how many people are sitting there just like, all they want... all they want out of life is this. They just want that so bad. And because of the stupid stuff people say, they're sitting there like, oh, okay, all right, and then I'll get the smudge tool, and well, that doesn't look quite right. All right, well, maybe if I lower the opacity and then kind of like come off of it like this, is like, just use the airbrush. Just use the airbrush. Stop listening to people. There's things that are going to need a hard edge and things that are going to need a soft edge. I gotta run to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Come in. Oh,
Hello, Joseph, is it?
hi, Dr. Zapata. Yes, Joe. How are you?
I'm well. What seems to be the problem, Joe?
Well, I'm having difficulty drawing from imagination.
Oh, Joseph, just so you know, that's totally normal. Why don't you tell me a little more about your problem? Is it that you can only draw from imagination if you're completely alone?
Doc, I can't ever draw from imagination.
What about if you're completely relaxed?
When I'm totally relaxed, I can't imagine a thing.
I see. Joseph, it's important to know that even with severe cases like this, there's always hope. I can prescribe an experimental therapy called Form from Imagination.
Form from imagination?
It's early days, but clinical trials are extremely promising. Why don't you try this for 6 months and then check back in with me?
Okay, I'll do whatever it takes. Did you just draw this?
Oh yeah.
Wow, it's amazing. Hey, Doc, do you ever have trouble drawing from imagination?
Oh no.
You wouldn't. I mean, you drew this.
That's right.
Wow.
Form from Imagination is an experimental therapy and is not yet approved for use by the FDA. Do not use Form from Imagination if you are already taking any prescriptions for drawing from reference, working side size, or tracing photos you didn't even take. Stop taking Form from Imagination if you experience any of these side effects: loss of interest in your personal projects, megalomaniacal self-confidence, hallucinations, unless they're the kind you're hoping for, drawing better than Steven Zapata, or feelings that purchasing the course was enough and you don't really need to do the exercises. Call your doctor if you have stiff gestures, flat forms, or boring ideas to address a possible life-threatening condition. Full sketchbooks have been reported with Form from Imagination and medicines like it. Other risks include long-term art careers, too many clients, and being worth more than you're charging for. Call your doctor today and ask about Form from Imagination.
I had a spoonful of peanut butter. I gotta chew for a second. Well, not chew, but I got a good mouthful in there. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta get that. Oh, that nice crack. It is Joe. It really is Joe. Yeah, you gotta use that spoon. I mean, peanut butter is a great way to just straight peanut butter is a great way to just stave off sudden hunger. At least for me. Yeah, no matter how hungry you are, you shove a couple spoonfuls of peanut butter in your mouth, suddenly you're like, ugh, I don't want to be eating anymore. It's just so fatty and calorically dense. I've been pushing my lunches later and later because of stream, so. Peanut butter's got a lot in it. Yeah, what do you work for the peanut butter lobby or something? Why are you saying that? I don't trust people who say things like that. Start listing ingredients now. Like, wow, peanut butter's got so much in it. It's got salt, peanuts, sugar, palm oil. Get your peanut butter today. Sick of you peanut butter freaks. It ain't gotta be like that. It can just be food. It doesn't have to be a lifestyle like it is for you guys. Hi there. I can't read Cyrillic, so I have no idea how to say your name. So I'm just gonna say hi there to the person who said hello, Steve. I don't even know if that's Cyrillic. I'm an ignorant guy. I got a small worldview, so. Hi, doggy. Yes, 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 my little princesa. Yes, stretch. That's a good stretch. How you doing? What you been doing? You been dreaming? You just been hanging out? Now you need your little back scratch? Yeah. Who's a good girl? Who's a good little pup? Look, you're about 20 minutes off for your coogie, so get back to sleeping. You got another 20 minutes. You gotta shake your hairs right there, like right where I'm sitting. How's your dog? My dog is good. My dog is healthy, probably bored. But you know, she just lives 3 hours at a time. She knows every 3 hours something happens. Every 3 hours she either goes on a walk or gets food. She lives 3 hours at a time. She wakes up, food. 3 hours later, walk. 3 hours later, food. 3 hours later, walk. 3 hours later, food. 3 hours later, walk. We run a tight ship around here. She's a good girl, my little fanny pup. The tippy taps get you every time. Yeah, she's a dainty little dog. With their little tippy taps. Is this a door or a cupboard? It's a door. It's a gate. It leads to chaos. The realm between realms. Where sit his dark materials from which to make new worlds. Are you on the square? Are you on the level? Are you ready to swear right here, right now, before the devil, that you're on the square, that you're on the level, that you're ready to swear right here, right now, right here, right now, right here, right now. Can you create some creatures for the next From Software game, Steven? I would like very much to face the creatures you designed. Thank you. Oh man, I'd love to, but they can't afford me. He reared forthwith from off the lake of fire. Seest thou yon dreary plain, seat of desolation? forlorn and wild, void of light, save that which the glimmering of these livid flames casts pale and dreadful. Close the serpent, sly, insinuating, wove with Gordian twine his braided train, and of his fateful guile gave proof unheeded. I mean, it don't get much better than that. You know. Close the serpent, sly, insinuating, like. Santi says, you're Jesu Christ. I'm Jesu Christ. Suppose it's slightly less sacrilegious than calling me Jesus Christ. Steven, have you ever read Kill 6 Billion Demons? No, I have not. Hello, L. Je suis Christ. How much do you like drawing other things, like designing objects, environments, drawing in a comic cartoonish style, trying other styles and other things completely out of your realm? I do it all the time. I do it all the time. I mean, I'm always drawing a different way, you know? Really, my only, like, consistent style is how I do my pencils, but when I do other traditional things like watercolors, markers, certainly when I do digital, it feels like I'm always starting a different way. I'm always experimenting with something. You know, that's part of why I became a designer and why I succeeded as a designer is because I was a chameleon stylistically and process-wise. You know, for illustrators, if you're not a chameleon, you generally want to be an illustrator because you're selling your style, your one particular style that you have. But for a designer, it's very useful to just be able to do kind of anything and to blend into different pipelines and be able to pick up other people's work and work on model and work to style and things like that. So that was very important for me as a designer, you know. I've had to do all sorts of crazy stuff for jobs. I mean, for example, I don't think I can play the audio just because this happens to be I'm not going to play the audio because it'll probably get me in trouble. But with my career, the kind of gigs that I do, I have to do all sorts of stuff. So you guys know me for like the scary hell stuff, but I did this. These are the end credits for the Disney movie Noelle. I broke down the script with the AD, did the initial storyboards. About half the drawings I did the production drawings, so I did the actual inked lines that got animated. The other half of the rest of the team. I didn't do the animations, obviously. I just did the finals. I drew that Noelle, that horse. I did the drawing that wound up on the... oh yeah, I did that one. That was funny. I did the drawing that wound up on the cast wrap shirt. So like Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick have my shirt somewhere as a pajama shirt in their drawer somewhere. I drew all those little portraits down there. That was fun. Oh my God, that one took forever. That sucked. That was a lot of kids. That was the cast shirt. That's what they printed on the shirt for the wrap shirt. Drew all of those. A lot of iPads. Got to draw that Bill Hader, that cartoon Bill Hader. That was fun. Drew that one. So yeah, I do all sorts of stuff. I do all sorts of stuff. Is there anything you hate drawing? Like for me, it would be cars. No, not really. Nothing besides pretty girls. Everything else I have a really good time drawing. It's always a fun challenge to figure out how to sort of unlock a subject. What makes it tick. Even cars. You know, I'm not a car guy. I don't particularly like drawing cars, but when I've had to do it, I've always been able to find a way to make it fun. Does storyboarding pay well? It depends what industry you're doing it in. If you're doing storyboards for advertising, that's probably advertising is it competes for the highest revenue art field. The normal rates are decided by the industry, not by the particular job. You could do the same job in video games and make a fraction of what you make in advertising, just the norms are different. Same job, same task. Video games are a passion industry where everyone's just willing to do it for clout. So it's very, very, rates are extremely low. And they expect you to just be totally willing to work for free and to start out poor. But advertising is advertising, and everybody who's in advertising usually goes into it to make money, not because they love commercials. So it's a very high revenue industry. If you could go back to when you were still learning art, is there anything you wish you had done sooner or not done? Yeah, I mean, there's little things, but I feel like they're particular to me. It's not, it wouldn't be relevant to other people because everybody has their own journey. I just wish I'd listened to people less. I wish I'd cared less about what people thought I should or should not do. I would have got to a place that I felt good in faster if I was just less concerned about others. Or what I thought were the industry norms and things like that. Why are you drawing a fancy cupboard? No reason. In my experience, ad agencies don't pay their creatives well. Well, it's a generalization, what I said about it being a high revenue thing. The truth in art is that, there's no real like job title or job description, and everything is everything just depends on where you landed. That's it. No two jobs are alike, no two firms are alike. It's just a generalization. Your videos have helped me discover how much I love working in graphite. I'm curious what traditional color media you think is most similar to graphite in its ability to render form. Oh man, color media? Probably oil paint. I mean, the great thing about graphite is that it's so flexible. You know, it's easy to lift off. It blends sort of with just just accidentally. It'll blend, and you can blend it forever, right? It doesn't dry or anything like that. So it may be unexpected to hear, but yeah, I would say oil, because oil shares a lot of those qualities. It blends accidentally. You know, it's harder to keep things sharp in oil than it is to blend them. And if you don't put any dryers in your oil paint, you can blend it for like a week or something like that, depending on the paint you use. It can stay really wet for a really long time. I think if the flexibility is the main marker, nothing's more flexible than oil paint. It's like, it's annoying to set up, you know, you need a lot of gear and all that, but it is the most flexible medium. It's very forgiving. You know, if things go horribly wrong, just scrape it off. You know, get right back down to the canvas. How many hours a week you put into art as a student? Oh God, did I put in as a student? A number that I wouldn't recommend to people. Don't do that. A tremendous amount. I mean, the amount you would expect from a young man who felt he had everything to prove, who has my level of energy, which is a pretty high level of energy, and I completely eschewed having a social life. I did nothing but practice art. I didn't play video games, nothing. It's like for sort of, you know, the culture that I'm in now, which is so steeped in video games, it's like I skipped Skyrim. Like, I did not play Skyrim. Not because I wasn't interested, but because I was like, am I going to let myself get mildly interested in this and put 1,000 hours into Skyrim instead of 1,000 hours into drawing? No way. But I wouldn't recommend that. It's just you asked what I did. That's what I did. But I would not say anyone else should do that. It's not good for your health, for your mental health or your physical health, and it's not necessary. It might explain how I can draw like the devil himself, but it's not necessary. Just colored my lines real quick so they're a little easier to paint over. What's the best quote you heard this year? I don't know. I'd have to think about that. That angel looks like a second baseman diving for the ball. Hell yeah. Are you still doing client work, or have you fully transitioned to doing your own stuff? I don't know. I try not to like make any hard proclamations or anything like that, but I haven't done client work all year. I'm trying to move my focus over to teaching. I guess I already have. I like teaching better. It makes me feel more integrated with the world. Working from home, doing client work and freelance, I did it for a long time. I've done it for a long time, and I just, you know, at this point in my life, I don't like it, you know? It's too isolating, you know? It's just not for me. For other artists, it would be a lot of fun for them, I'm sure, because a lot of artists like to be left alone, but I don't know, it just wasn't for me. Maybe it's just because I'm too good at my job, but a lot of the gigs that I work, a lot of the jobs that I do, like I worked one job where I worked on it for over a year, and I won't say which one, just it's not linked, but I worked on it for over a year, and it was like a really high profile job and all that. And I only ever communicated with my boss, my direct boss for the gig. And the whole year plus, I never spoke to them on the phone, even once. It was only emails. And there was nothing there. It was just like, here's the gig, right? Here's the next task. I'd do the task and they'd go, great. And then, you know, and if there was feedback, there'd be an email of feedback, and that was it. And I was just like, I feel like this isn't real. Like, this isn't happening, you know? It just makes you disassociate after a while. And I just, I got sick of it, you know? I like teaching because, and doing this stuff because it's like, I talk to people, you know? I talk to students, and I have really deep conversations with them, and I feel integrated with people's lives, you know, and the emotions are real and stuff like that. There's not a lot of like real emotion in work, you know, in industry work. It's like a lot of it gets cynical a lot of the time, right? It's not about, people are just doing their job, and there's just not a lot of real emotion. It's usually, you know, you want to keep the real emotion out. And I don't know, you know, I did it for a long time. It was fun to try, but and like I said, I'll still go back to it or whatever if I feel like it. You know, I always extend myself the freedom to change my mind, but I like this better. And it's like the doing my own stuff, it's like I don't really sell my originals or anything like that. So me doing my own stuff is really just it's weird to say, but it's really just like a way to get people's attention. It's just honey for the bees, you know? The real thing is the interaction with human beings and the teaching and helping people on their journeys and stuff like that, you know? The art is just what I like to do, my joy, my free happiness, and honey for the bees. Honey for the bees. And I feel very lucky to do it because, you know, you can have the best career in the world, man. You can truly have the best career in the world, right? You can be in the top 5, you know, you can be the most famous industry artist out there and just, I mean, you guys know, you've seen their posts talking about it, stuff like that. You can be number 1 and you'll find yourself out there making a post where you're like, oh man, I wish I could draw my own stuff. Still no freedom, still feeling trapped. Like you can't do your own stuff. Like art is a prison of your own making. So it's like, what am I looking for? I mean, right now, drawing without influence, just doing exactly what I want to be doing and making money to live off of it, you know, I'm living that numero uno's dream. So I'm good. I'm good. But it's a temperament thing because, you know, those people also, this is going to sound mean or something, but they also probably feel like they need to be validated by James Cameron. And I just don't have that temperamentally. I don't desire anyone's validation. I don't feel the need to be validated by James Cameron. I don't know how else to say it. It's just like, I probably wouldn't like James Cameron. He's probably, what are the odds he's like a really cool guy or that I would want to be his friend? It's like, I don't care about anybody's validation. So temperamentally, these options are open to me because of that. But, you know, just to make clear, that numero uno who's suffering about that they can't just make their own work and be free, they've put themselves in that box because it's very important to them to be validated by successful people that they don't know and they otherwise wouldn't like. Sorry, just texting my wife. Damn, that looks amazing. Thank you. That's why corporate work is so life-sucking. All the emotions of life are subdued into passive aggressiveness. Yeah, me personally, I feel that way. I'm a very I like to, get into it with people. I like it kind of real. I need, you get one shot at life. It's important to me to be able to just be honest, and it's hard to find a setting where that's appropriate. But with students, man, it's like no one undertakes art cynically. You become cynical as you become successful, but it's hard to give up teaching, man, because just like, oh my god, everything's so pure. Like everyone gets into art sincerely. You know, no one gets into art cynically. So I just love meeting people there. You know, I love crossing paths with people there. And, you know, you could be working at the biggest studio in the world. You start talking about your dream or what you hope for yourself, people are going to be like, ugh, shut up. You know, like they're just going to be dreaming for the second that you shut your mouth. But, you know, at the beginning of the art journey, if you're open, that's everything, you know? I'm sure you can also become uncynical though, right? If you get out like I did. Like I said, it depends on every firm and studio is different and stuff like that. So you could uncynical yourself within the job mindset. You could theoretically uncynicize yourself by, you know, you just had a bad run of studios, you know, 10 in a row or whatever, and then you go to the next one and they happen to not be cynical. It is very pure or something like that. The trick is that it's almost impossible to tell from the outside. So it's like if you're looking for that, it really is almost a crapshoot, you know? It's very hard to deduce what places are actually like good places to work. Everyone says like, wow, we make video games. Oh, it's so open, you know, oh, everything great here. It's like, yeah, that's how they brand everything. Of course, that's how everything's branded. No one's going to say the truth. No one's going to say, all of our incentives are based around the monetization of creativity that was established 30 years ago, and we have no fresh ideas in our head, and everything that we do is just focused on regurgitating the same theme so that people will ride off of nostalgia, and we're trying to escalate the intensity of that so that we can monetize it further. No one's going to say that. I'm all right. I'm okay. How was your experience at studio jobs? I had plenty of great experiences. I've been treated very well. I can't say always everyone around me was treated very well, but people have been very nice to me. Can you give some information about doing one of those redesigned design book projects you mentioned some time back? I'd like to do one, but I'm unsure of how to go about it. Pick something you love so that you have very deep ideas about it. You want to pick the most exciting thing you can imagine that is also short. You want to pick something very short. I would pick something that is less than 14-ish hours, or 14, less than 4 hours to read, if it's a book, and begin by making an MVP. That's minimum viable product. So go through the book, read it more than once. You know, if you followed step 1 and you really love it, you don't have to read it too many times, but go through the book and write down everything that would need to be designed, right? And then look at the very long list that you made and ask yourself, because you're a fan, right? If someone else was making the project, you as a fan, what is the minimum number of things they could show you that you would be like, wow, they really took care of it. They really paid attention to it. So it's like you would be disappointed if they didn't do all the main characters, right? So you have to do all of the main characters. But you get super stingy about it. So you as a fan, you have to decide what is the bare minimum they could do that I feel like they are going to make it, or they really made it. They really paid attention to it. That should cut the list in like a 10th, right? Very small. And then whatever you arrived at, that's still not the MVP. You're still being optimistic. Cut it in half. From there, that's your minimum viable product. And you try to execute that and give yourself a long time. Give yourself a long time. Industry work sounds rough. What would it take for someone to enjoy industry work? Is there a certain personality trait or anything to make industry work worth it? Again, it depends on where you're at. Yeah, your temperament, the particular job, the studio. It'd be hard to say. I think it helps a lot if you don't like having creative control. I know that sounds horrible, like a crazy thing to say about art, but if you've been doing art for a long time, you'll find out about yourself and others. Like, there is a huge amount of artists who actually don't like having creative control. Like, occasionally people on these streams will say to me, you know, and they'll be insistent. They'll be like, Steven, tell me what to draw. Steven, you tell me what to draw. And if I make a joke and flip it off, they'll be like, please just say anything. You'd probably be good for industry work. You would probably be good for industry work. Real question here. Not sure how many students you have now, but I guess at some point it won't be feasible to give feedback anymore. Are you planning to add tiers or something in the future? For the course, you mean? For the course, I think I've structured it where I'll be able to give feedback for a long while. The high price point becomes a natural gate where it's not really going to be a flood. Like, it comes in at a controllable rate. And the other thing is that there's a huge amount of information in the pre-recorded content. So there's only so quickly people can dump assignments on me, right? So I've structured it very carefully so that it's pretty realistic for me to give feedback for a long time. And I have levers I can pull. Like, if something did happen and there was an onslaught of assignments needing feedback for the course, there's still many things I can do. There's many creative solutions. For example, I could start scheduling office hours instead. Like, I could do, instead of doing the feedback in chunks of time that fit into just when I'm ready throughout the day, I could schedule a regularly recurring stream, like a feedback stream that's only for people in the course. People could dump their assignments into a page in the community that I make, and then we can go through it together as a group, address the most pertinent problems. There's a lot of things that could be done. I don't have any tier plans right now. If there was going to be tiers, it would really only be, I don't know. If there was going to be tiers, it would really be, yeah, I don't know. It would just be feedback or no feedback. If you could fly, would you fly horizontally or like standing up position? Standing up, because then I could like dress like a mummy or an ancient pharaoh and sort of fly towards people like that. I could like cross my arms like this and have like the big hat. I could even put like a big sarcophagus behind me. And I could just like every night fly through the middle of the Disneyland fireworks. So yeah, obviously standing up. Yeah, and then I could just do like a Nyarlathotep kind of a thing. Where it's like people know that I have returned from my long slumber. Who, Nyarlathotep? Oh yeah, I've seen him around here. Sort of an old Egyptian guy, right? Crumbling skin. Ancient garb. Yeah, he came through here on Main Street just the other day. He was speaking in some sort of a lost tongue, like a dark language. But it was strange. He would say these words. You could tell they were gibberish, but somehow in your mind you understood it. It was weird. Anyway, him and his acolytes went all the way down to maybe 3rd, 4th Avenue, something like that. And they started to chanting just like so loud, I couldn't believe it. I kept going out there like, hey, you acolytes, why don't you calm down a little bit? They seemed to not hear anything. They seemed to have these sort of glassy eyes, like lost, as if they's minds was somewhere else. Anyway, why are you boys looking for him? If anyone wants to go to the best adult dating site, you're gonna want to do it before I delete the bot. Weird, they didn't post a link. Like, what was the point of those messages? There was no link. Like, come on, bot. You had one job. You're looking for who? Cthulhu? Oh, Cthulhu. Oh. Yeah, him. Sort of like a reptilian squid kind of a guy, right? About 600 feet tall. Giant leathery wings like a dragon. Came out of his dark slumber in the sunken city of Relais. Yeah, I think I seen him. Yeah, I think he came by maybe a week or two ago. Got all sort of a big army of deep ones with him. Kind of a strange face, you know, constantly thrashing. Always seem to change whenever you look at it. I'm gonna have to stop that. Nice try, Warehell. Nice try. You're looking for a what? A Shoggoth? Oh, you boys are in luck. I think one came by here just the other day. You know, I don't want to put too fine of a point on this, but it seemed a little racist. Oh, no, I gotta stop. I can't. You can't get me going on my Southern yokel talks to the police about Lovecraftian monsters bit. I mean, I will do this for 24 hours straight. I promise you. You can't get me going on that. Oh yeah, the color out of space. Yeah, I seen it. Kind of weird. Seemed like some sort of cross-spectral color. I never seen anything like it. I mean, sort of by definition. All right, I'm good. I'm good. Oh man, it's so bad. That's so bad. I taught one of the semesters I taught production design at Art Center. Like half the class did Lovecraft stories for their assignment, and oh my god, it was just 14 weeks of that, man. It's a lot. Those people from that Innsmouth place, you know, they're a bit fishy, don't you think? Get sort of an uncomfortable vibe when I'm going through Innsmouth. They look almost normal, but some sort of a family trait in them parts. I was just trying to investigate one of them their museums, looking at all the strange watery crowns that they got. You know, the ones that seem to be crafted with the sort of refinement that's too fine, made out of materials that seem sort of out of place. Anyway, I got out of there once I bumped into a copy of the Necronomicon and did see those dark runes therein inscribed. Oh, you know Necronomicon? Thought you boys was detectives. The one made by the Mad Arab. Alright, I said I'm done. I'm not doing that for 8 hours straight. We've got to draw the line somewhere. Say Necronomicon again in that accent, please. The Necronomicon? Oh, come on, you know. There's only 2 copies of it. One down there and the other one at Arkham University. Oh, come on. Yeah, I heard tell of other copies. Some of them revealed to insane prisoners in prisons tucked away in lands made only of dreams. I love how this all began from a question about the merits of flying vertically versus horizontally. Yeah, I forgot that that's what started it. This here's the work of a sea devil. Anyway, I got one gander at some of those clay fetishes, and I said, Lord, I'm out of here. I started running away. Weirdest thing, though, I thought I was moving away, but I seemed to only get closer. Whole place seemed to be made out of some sort of non-Euclidean geometry. All right. We're in big trouble here. We're in big trouble here. Are there cats in the moon? In which side? I don't know. There might be. Knowing that dastardly moon, probably. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon. Hello, Stephen. I have a question. I'm stuck in skill development and can't be satisfied with my drawing the following day, and I'm stuck in the quick sketch realm. What is your advice? If you're having trouble pushing things to finish, well, it's a different thing for everybody, but one of the big things is you need to, like, I don't know how else to put it, but you need to, like, really care about the picture. You know, so you've got to get on project. You know, you got to illustrate a book you love or a story you love or a moment in your life or something like that. You've got to find some reason to love the picture besides how good it looks, because you don't know how to make things look great yet. You know, you're in development, you're getting better, you're building your skills, you're a beginner, whatever your situation. Odds are you don't know how to just make a picture look beautiful and captivating on its own outside of content and some sort of other layer of interest. So you got to add it, and then that will hopefully motivate you to finish it, even if it doesn't look great. And then it is in the process of finishing that you will learn more about what it takes to make a picture look great. So up the stakes, get on project, do something you really care about. If you have no idea what you care about, that's part of the problem. You need to figure that out. You need to do some writing or something like that and figure out what you're actually interested in doing. See how long I want to make that stick out. Pancho needs your prayers, it's true, but save a few for Lefty too. He only did what he had to do. All the federales say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away out of kindness, I suppose. We'll save a few for Lefty too. Dropped in right when Steven was singing. Caught me. It caught me again. Nine times the space that measures day and night to mortal men, he, with his horrid crew, lay vanquished, rolling in the fiery gulf, confounded, though immortal. Obdurate pride and steadfast hate. Round he throws his baleful eye that witnessed huge affliction and dismay. Behold, a dungeon horrible on all sides round, like one great furnace flamed. You should do a hand cam video? I don't know what you mean by that. Bye, Arctic Monkey. Nick says, I don't know how much... I know you don't play much anymore, but are you aware of the game Scorn? It finally released soon after years of development hell. I am aware of it. I didn't know it was out. Have you tried it? Is it good? Of course, I think it looks cool with the Giger stuff, but is it a good game? I'll play almost anything if it looks cool, though. I'm definitely the kind of person to suffer through a bad game to see the next level. Does it help with shadows and shading color theory by converting it to grayscale? Yeah, because there's you know, when I was filling in these holes a little bit more orange, I just wanted to do it while looking at the grayscale to make sure it was actually darker than the surrounding filigree, because there's an optical phenomena, the Herschel-Kohlschlag effect, I want to say. I don't remember the exact name, but there's an optical phenomena where as saturation increases, and because this is brass, the shadows get very saturated. You can see they're like a fully saturated orange. As saturation increases, your optical perception system interprets that as an increase in brightness, which it is not. So it's just easier to make the correct judgments in black and white. You don't have to make it black and white, though. You can also just squint at it, because luminosity is much more important to the eye than hue and saturation. So you can work around the Herschel whatever effect. If you squint really far down at your picture, you'll focus on just what is sending more light back to your eye, and it'll work around any saturation confusion. Oh, thank you, Aisha. Thank you for the $5 donation. That's very kind. You shock me with your kindness once again. Thank you so much. Wait, dumb question. How are you dropping into tone, then back to color, adjustment layer? You can do it with an adjustment layer. You can just add a black and white layer over. I have it on a shortcut. I use the proof settings in Photoshop. I don't know if other programs have that, so I can't help you there. But in Photoshop, you can view your work with different proofs. They call them proofs. So if I go to view, proof setup, you can pick to switch it to CMYK, RGB, all these things to let you preview how it's going to look like on a laser printer or something like that. So one of the options for that is just a black and white version, and I just put that on the shortcut for proof colors, Command Y. So I can just hit Command Y and it takes it to black and white whenever I want. Wait, did I ever give my dog her Coogie? Fanny, come get your Coogie. Fanny. Fanny, come here right now. Fanny, where you at? Come get your Coogie. Come here, girl. Come on now, come on. On a cobweb afternoon in a room full of emptiness. By the freeway, I confess I was lost in the pages of a book full of death, reading how we'll die alone. But if we're good, we'll lay to rest anywhere we wanna go. And on I long to be room by room, patiently I'll wait for you there. Yeah, very dark secrets of Photoshop. Today's episode of Dark Secrets of Photoshop, we reveal the horrifying truth behind proof color setups. Ah! Gaze ye into the abyss and despair. I like your singing, thank you. It's sweet that you guys are complimentary about the singing, because I don't think of myself as a good singer, so I'm lucky that you guys don't find it intolerable, because definitely if there's no music playing, it's almost impossible to not sing during long hours of drawing. What is the song? That was Like a Stone by Chris Cornell. Oh, again with the adult dating site with no link. Like if you're gonna do it, give a link. Like, come on. It's like we're ready to go. We're ready to go now. Can't be dilly-dallying, trying to type it in by hand. I've only got one hand available. Let's go. Where's the link? That joke was beneath me. I shouldn't have done that. My humor is nothing if not trenchant. I'm gonna get rid of this dark shadow that I put here. Lonely artists in your area want critiques from you right now. All right, so I want to add some... Oh, I missed a guy up here. But I'm not sure I have a pose in mind. I always like the arms crossed in front of the pose of the Led Zeppelin angel. Arms crossed in front of the face pose of the Led Zeppelin angel, which is just that. I call it the Led Zeppelin angel, but I'm pretty sure it's based off some old academic painting of Lucifer falling. I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to... That really changes the silhouette. Maybe I'll do... that one going out. I could do a broken wing. Kind of interesting. Well, let's see about that. Man, your stuff looks great when zoomed and when not zoomed. Enviable. You know, we try around here. We try. You know, when you've got the luxury of time, you're just doing things for your own joy, you can really kind of sink into it and just make it good on as many levels as you can, you know? Not a luxury that is often afforded when doing work for hire. Oh my goodness. He's got a lot of accounts, this guy. Next time he posts, maybe I'll make him a moderator. That way he can post the link. I think the reason he can't post the link is because he's not a moderator. I think once he's a moderator and he can post the link, he'll be satisfied and then he'll leave us alone. The bot needs to get the course. It gets the course. It gets the course. It gets the course or else it gets the hose again. It's a pretty cool top. I like it. I think I want to add more. I might redesign this area. Maybe it came out a little too symmetrical because I sketched it with symmetry on it first. But we'll see. I guess it is a gate. It can be pretty formal. When I finish school, I'd like to take your class. Too much stuff on my plate at the moment. Creating from imagination and color and shadows are my life goals to master. You can do it. And look, we'll be here. Whenever you're ready, you get the course. You get the course. Dio, can you hear me? I'm lost and so alone. I'm asking for your guidance. Won't you come down from your throne? I need the tight compadre who can teach me how to rock. My father says you're evil, but man, he can sucker. Rock is not the devil's work, it's magical and rad. I'll never rock as long as I am stuck here with my dad. I just really like singing, Dio, can you hear me? So funny. Hold on, I gotta answer this. You heard it here first from Nick Ravioli. The course is good. How does the course differ from your mentorship, if you are still doing that? I'm not currently doing that. I don't know when I'll... if my mentorship... Well, I haven't done one-on-one mentoring in quite a long time. If you mean my workshop, it's quite different. The workshop really is more like an art direction workshop. It's really more focused on the projects people want to make, you know? So it's like most people come in with an idea for something that they want to produce, comic book, card deck, just some kind of a thing, you know? They also have skill questions, of course, but almost everybody winds up on project at some point. Or they want to do one picture over a month based on a story or something like that. There's all sorts of different ways to do it, but it's based on the students' projects. It's a project-focused workshop. The course is skill-based. It's a specific curriculum based on helping you understand form better. So they're very, very different. Yeah, I mean, YouTube's got a lot of bots on it. Yep, Kickapoo. Love me some Tenacious D, for sure. Bye, Joe. Thanks for hanging out, bud. Good luck at the dentist with your dad. Don't let them hurt him. Protect him. Every time the dentist tries to put the pointy thing in his mouth, swat it away. Swat it. No, no, touch. No, touch. Bad dentist, bad. I gave myself a headache doing that. I think I pulled something in my neck. Oh. Good luck, Joe. That's rough. Committed to the bit too much, for sure. Sometimes we take it too far. Too far for the sake of not drawing for a second. Dental professionals hate it. One weird trick to keep the dentist away, you swat. You swat at it. You swat at it. And the hand comes in and you're like, no. I went to the dentist the other day. They couldn't do anything. They tried for hours. I was reclined all the way back. I had the sunglasses on. My mouth was open. She kept trying to put it in. I was like, no. I backed them up. I paid full boat. They didn't do a damn thing. Nothing. Couldn't even look in there. No, why do you even come here, Steven? How do you think of the design principles when drawing? When I try to think about shape design, it's like my consciousness turns off and on, and I have to force myself to draw and keep thinking about them. I use them, at this point, I use them mostly as diagnostic tools. So, and I give this advice with a lot of things. When the paper is touching the paper, I don't think. In fact, I do my best to not be present. It's just, I'm a philosophical zombie. I'm not there. There's nothing behind the eyes. I draw completely automatically, completely subconsciously, and I use the rules, the principles of design and things like that. I use them as a diagnostic tool at this point. Now, you may need to go through a period where you use them different than that. All right, let me just make the bot a mod real quick. That they can post the link, add moderator. There we go. All right, so let's see if that works. What the heck was I saying? Yeah, I draw subconsciously without thinking, and then I diagnose problems consciously using things like the principles of design. But I think it's very important to not stifle yourself while you draw. You gotta kind of get used to just letting yourself just wing it out.
Bots all over the shop. You'll be one of them, sooner or later.
Burm, burm, burm. That was the, in case you couldn't tell. That was the cleric beast scream. I'm sure you could tell, but in case you couldn't, that was the cleric beast. Weird that bot showed up right after I did. Yeah, Omar, close the door behind you. Jeez. I hear you, brave young Jables. You are hungry for the rock. There's something very relaxing about kyaing like that. Nothing like a good kya to start the day. Oh my goodness. You're really after me today. Let's see if timeout does anything. I think I'm probably going to start taking that as a cue to get out of here, because I got to be off by 2 anyway, and I want to go eat a nice lunch before 2 o'clock, before I got my call. In my eyes, indisposed, in disguises no one knows, hides the face, lies the snake, in the sun in my disgrace, boiling heat, summer stench, 'neath the black winds I heard friend. Times are gone for honest men. Sometimes I want to add more figures to this. I don't want the figures just at the top. I'm getting a little too committed on some of the framing elements. I think I'm going to have to do what I did up here when I pushed these framing elements. When I pushed these more exaggerated so that they still stood out with all of the figures up top. I think I will need to do that down here on all of these framing elements. And then I will add figures, whoop, doo-doop, 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 all there, whoop, doo-doop, doo-doop, doo-doop. Just like Rodin did. Well, Rodin's really has figures everywhere. It's possible I could also, I think I'd want to thicken those pilasters no matter what. But I could also leave them more blank to get an open space, and then I could pack all of this open area with figures. Or just go the Rodin way and cover it all with figures. I gotta think about that. What are you having for lunch? Are you one of those guys that drink kale smoothies for lunch? No, I haven't gone that far. I need to crunch something when I eat lunch. I don't know. I think I might go out. Actually, I might not have enough time to go out because I'm loitering on stream. So I don't know. I'll have to look through what I got in the fridge. Maybe make a salad or something. Got a couple frozen, like, panniers I could eat. Yeah, Rodin's really just has figures everywhere, and then he just leaves the framing elements nice and clean, and those are his open areas. Damn, he was the best. I mean, that's the coolest thing. He was pretty good. Pretty good. All right, well, we've been going for about 3 hours and 20 minutes, so. And I know what I need to do next. It's always good, as I've said on here many times, it's always good to wrap knowing what you would do the next time you sat down. So I'll just leave myself a note. plus figures, and then what's open. So I can address those design questions when I sit down, and I'll have direction when I begin. So I'll just stay on for a minute, say goodbye if anyone has any last questions or anything like that. Did he just say someone else was the best? Well, you know. Our boy Rodin is dead, so I guess so it would be a little weird to feel competitive with a dead man. I'm already winning in the race of life. I guess he beat me to the finish line. This is only getting more confused the further I go down the rabbit hole. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Another incredible Steven Zapata art stream. I mean, the quality is undeniable. Who delivers quality art, life-changing insights, and entertainment at the same time? Nobody. Nobody can do that. It's only me. It's only me. You gotta leave some in the tank. That's right. Go Bravado. What's your question? Let's see if I can answer it quick. Are you familiar with the idea of kitsch? What do you think of it? I mean, yeah, I'm familiar with the idea of kitsch. I don't know. Kitsch is like, you know, I don't know what it is, but I know it when I see it. It's that kind of a thing, right? If you're worried about like painting kitsch or something like that, it's like, I don't think you have to worry about that. I think if you really, I think as you get better at your skills and you deepen your understanding of design, the idea that you would wind up making something kitsch kind of like, you know, it goes away. It's like, what's kitsch anyway? I mean, like Thomas Kinkade, like that's definitely probably kitsch, right? But it's like Thomas Kinkade was a better painter than you, you know? There's no one in this stream who can paint like Thomas Kinkade. No, it's almost like he chose it. We used to use Thomas Kinkade as a reference back in studio for doing renders for theme parks. A little more than reference. Just ripping him off. It's like, it's still good. It's still good. Kitsch is subjective. How would you go about building an art community if you just moved to a new city? Step one, exert dominance. Utter art superiority. Try to act nice, like be like, oh man, it's so fun to be artists together. Like, wow, let's meet up and like talk about art and our favorite techniques, and maybe we can help each other and like be friends, you know, like open like that. And then when they show up, when they're at the park or the bar, wherever you're meeting them, just slap your sketchbook on the table and make it be so overwhelmingly good that they can barely hold back the tears. Hurt them with it. And then you'll have a community. If you build it, they will come. What's your special move? Art-wise, what is the move you think makes you you? Because it's kind of like everything is my special move, you know? It's just like complete superiority at all aspects of art. It's more like a state change, you know? Bye, Slits. Slits. You rock, Steven. Thank you, Jesse. The course is a buy once, use forever type thing, isn't it? Yep. You get all of the future updates and revisions, everything like that. If I buy the course, will you sign these adoption papers? Absolutely. I can't guarantee they won't get lost in the mail, but If I get them, I'll sign them. I was literally listening to Black Hole Sun and you started singing it. Crazy synchronicity. That's good luck right there. That's fun. I always thought the idea of kitsch, art being worthless because of a degree of naivete is stupid. Yeah, I mean, it's just a word. Like, not like there's a medal you put on something where a committee says, we've all decided this is kitsch. It's like, who cares? You know, everything in art is completely subjective. There's no anything in art. There's no anything. Wicked, thanks. Enjoy, YOLO. Enjoy your new art community that's built entirely on your narcissism. That's what I built my art community on, and I love it. You know, it's great. Some tips to improve composition? Hard to talk about in just a few seconds. Low-hanging fruit is use very clear shapes. Use very clear shapes with intention. Hello, Steven. A bit curious here. Do you prefer drawing flat on the table or upright? I'm a little weird in that I'm used to drawing flat on the table. I do my pencil drawings flat, so I'm seeing the drawing skewed. But I have like fallbacks for that because I'm usually recording when I draw. So because I'm recording, I have like a preview up on my computer screen, and my camera is perfectly overhead when I record. So my preview on my computer screen, I can look at that, and that shows me the drawing at the normal proportion. So it's easy for me to check if something got weirdly skewed or something like that. But honestly, I don't know. I've never found the skewing from drawing flat to be really that uncomfortable. Maybe it's bad for my back or something, but I think that Tate Andrew looks like Stave Satapas. There you go. Narcissism enablers. I mean, you're on a stream of some guy on YouTube. Of course it's nothing but narcissism enablers. Please. What else do you think is going on here? All right, everybody. I'm going to cut out. Thank you so much for hanging out. You're all fantastic. I hope if you draw today that your drawings go very well. Don't forget that it's important to draw, that it's important to exercise the creativity that you feel a reason to make. You know, you can't let that just build up inside forever. And don't worry about it so much while you do it. Just let it flow, and everything else will handle itself in the end. And raccoons are, you know, they're very crafty little guys. It's very easy for them to get into your garbage cans. So make sure that you tie down your garbage cans, the lids, so that the raccoons can't get in there, because they'll spill all your trash just to get like one little thing out of there. And they'll skip the good parts. They'll leave the Cheetos and stuff like that. So you really want to tie down that stuff. If you find you have like a fly infestation in your house, it's likely something died in the walls, like a squirrel or a mouse or something like that. So you maybe want to get someone in there to kind of tap around and look for the thing that might have died in the walls. You can also sniff around looking for wherever the source of the smell is. You could save time brushing your teeth. If you brush your teeth in the shower, you know, just kind of do a 2-for-1 kind of a thing. Cars don't actually require maintenance. That's just like a way to maintain the car maintenance industry, which is a scam. If you just never take care of your car, you never change its oil, nothing, it will run forever. I've never gotten anything but the legally required inspections on my cars. It's always passed inspection. My cars have never broken down. I've never been stranded on the side of a highway. It is all a sham, and the mechanics are breaking your car every time you take it in to get an oil change or anything of that like. So leave your car alone. It runs great. It doesn't need your intervention, and it will run great for 30 to 50 years. So just leave it be. Stop drinking the Kool-Aid, because everyone who tells you cars need maintenance is somehow incentivized to perform maintenance on your car for money. All right, that's my advice.